Jesus is resurrection and life. The coronavirus has killed over 100,000 people this week worldwide. This is a staggering number, which is only likely to get worse in the coming weeks. Sickness and death have become acutely present in our lives. When someone dies, we are filled with a lot of questions and a lot of grief. We experience life as physical beings, body and soul. We eat, drink, love, and play. We fight, work, suffer, and sin. All this as body souls. When the body dies, what happens to the soul? When the Word of God became flesh, God, ultimate mystery, became physical existence just like us. Jesus was body, soul. Eating and drinking, loving and playing. He worked, taught, suffered, and died. What happened to Jesus after he died? In Jesus' day, like our own, there was an argument going on. Is there life after death? Some believed there was, and others did not. With Jesus' death, a new argument broke out. The disciples of Jesus did not simply claim that Jesus' soul survived death and went to heaven. They proclaimed that he was risen from the dead. Immediately, people broke into groups, those who believed and those who did not. Everyone agreed that the tomb was empty, but how it got that way was hotly debated. Did someone steal his body, or had he risen? At least 3 times during his ministry, Jesus predicted that he would suffer, die, and rise. John testifies that Jesus claimed to be the resurrection and the life. What did he mean by this? What really happened? Did Jesus' body come back to life like Lazarus? No one claims this. That would be bodily resuscitation, a kind of holy CPR. Did the disciples experience Jesus alive in their dreams, like we frequently experience our beloved deceased? No one claims this either. Since the beginning of Christianity, there has been a lot of discussion about what really happened. No one claims to have witnessed the resurrection. This is one of the reasons people find the Shroud of Turin so intriguing. Is it a picture of the resurrection? No one saw Jesus walk out of the tomb. The gospel suggests that the stone gets rolled back, not so that Jesus can get out, but so that we can get in. Theologians over the centuries have been reticent to speculate. We seem to fumble around in the face of the resurrection. It is something we do not understand. Some have said it is a faith event. Others, some other unsatisfactory answer. The Gospels report a few women were the first to see Jesus resurrected. One clung to his feet. The apostles also experienced Jesus as resurrected. They ate and drank with him. Thomas touched him. There is something very physical about the resurrected Jesus. Yet, there's also something that does not fit into our understanding of physical. He appears and disappears. Not when people are in some kind of mystical trance, not when they are asleep, but in ordinary, everyday circumstances. Further, this type of experience of Jesus resurrected did not last long. After about 40 days, Jesus only appeared to people in visions, like St. Paul on the road to Damascus. Nonetheless, all the early witnesses proclaimed that Jesus is really present and fully alive, even after the ascension. In the resurrection of Jesus, did the Father reveal the ultimate destiny of matter, spirit, and soul? Is it possible that the history of matter, soul, love, sin, suffering, and death have a destiny beyond what we see? Was the resurrection of Jesus a radical transformation of this world into a new realm, a new spiritual dimension, into resurrection and life? We celebrate this in all of the sacraments, especially in the Eucharist. Christ is risen and present, and in him we are being transformed from death to resurrected life. Practically, when we look at ourselves, we have a hard time seeing this transformation at work. However, when we look at each other, when I look at you, this is indeed what I see. Hurt, disappointment, disaster, grief, and alienation being transformed into love, care, compassion, encouragement, hope, and solidarity. We see death being transformed into life. For the children, I would like to end with a story. Once upon a time, there was a father and a 5-year-old daughter taking a walk at sunset. They were walking through the cemetery that was near their home. It was on a hill overlooking the town. The daughter asked one of those questions that make all adults uncomfortable. She pointed to one of the headstones and asked, "What are these?" The father fumbled around and finally said, "When you look out over the town, do you see all those sparkling lights that mark the homes of all God's holy people? These stones have the names of all those people who have died and gone to heaven." The daughter looked puzzled for a moment and then said, "This must be where they left their clothes." This past week has been the toughest yet, as the coronavirus kills tens of thousands of people. We also walk with Jesus through the toughest week of his life, through his betrayal, trial, torture, and death. But death did not have the last word. The resurrection of Jesus is a new beginning and the ultimate destiny of creation. When our loved ones die, we commend them to Jesus, the resurrection and the life. In life, we follow him, stumbling and struggling at times, but always living in hope that for us too, when our end comes, Jesus is resurrection and life.